Everybody wants to fill out their drawing slips for napkin.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm having everybody fill out a drawing slip, and then I'm going to do a drawing here in a little bit. So this little drawing slip, just down here at the bottom, it has places where people can check. And so, you know, typically I just teach a normal class, but I can also teach a class where I, what's the word? You know, I change it up a little bit depending on what people's needs are.
So there's a focus on different classes, yeah.
I'm excited to be here to teach or to tell a little bit more about essential oils. And this is going to be the sheet that this is our little trifold class sheet. I'm going to warn you, it's a little bit of an April Fool's joke because you open it up and it's upside down. But that's because my printer was being funny. So, or I don't know how to use my printer, one or the other. So we're going to be, open it up and flip it over. We're going to be in the very first section. So really quick, I'm just going to introduce myself. I have been using oils for about 8 years now. So I started because I have some hormonal issues that I found out about when I wasn't able to have children. And so I was taking some medication that was really driving me nuts. The medication that I was on, they're like, oh, we can give you medication to help you have a baby. And I'm like, okay, great. You know, so I went on this medication, and I was working at the time, and I would kind of like walk down the hallway, and I would like walk into the wall because, I mean, not walk into it, but I would just like brush the wall on either side. I could walk straight. I had really, really bad sinus issues. I had nausea. I had vertigo. And then beyond all of that kind of stuff, all that stuff led into more depression and anxiety because I just wasn't feeling well. And so I wasn't able to work my job to the fullest of my capabilities. And it was really stressful. And it was like this for 5 months. And I found out I was pregnant. And so I went off the medication. I was feeling pretty good about life. And then I had my baby, and the doctor came back and said, I started having really bad headaches. And so I went in for an MRI, and they said, oh, my hormone will have a tumor, and I like your tumor and stuff with the size. The tumor is behind my optic nerves. It's not cancerous or anything like that, but it can grow, especially when pregnant for nursing. And I had just been pregnant and was nursing at the time. So it's right behind your optic nerves, right here in that little space. And if it gets big enough, you press against those optic nerves, and it can cause issues. And so it was pressing against those optic nerves and giving me really bad headaches. So anyway, the doctor said, well, it's okay because you can just go back on the medication again. And I'm sitting here holding a newborn thinking, nope, I'm not going on that medication. There's no way I can be I can't even think about being a mom, much less a good mom on this medication. And so I had a friend, I put it out there that I was looking for natural stuff, anything natural, because I didn't want to do the surgery either, because the surgery has really awful side effects. And a lot of times people just have to have the surgery over and over and over again because the surgery doesn't get it the first time, or, so it goes back. Or if they do get it all, it's just a fine line. When you have a pituitary tumor, your pituitary, it's not just like, oh, there's a tumor, we're going to cut it off. Your pituitary actually enlarges. And so if they take too much of the pituitary, you're on replacement hormones the rest of your life. Which, if as a 28-year-old looking at being on replacement hormones the rest of my life, I'm guaranteed cancer, like guaranteed. So looking at those two options, I said, you know what, there lots of prayer went into it. And I said, there's got to be something natural. And so we started looking. I searched for months and months until I had a friend. She was actually right there in my own hometown. And she said, you know what, I have a friend that is so knowledgeable about essential oils, you've got to talk to her because there's got to be something with oils that can help you. And I said, all right, fine, hook me up, And so she had her friend, Teresa Harding, give me a call and talk to me, and she brought up frankincense. And she said, frankincense, I think it can help you. And so she starts telling me about frankincense and how it helps with healthy DNA, like healthy cell production. And so if you have something that's a tumor, it's damaged DNA that's replicating too quickly. And so she starts telling me about frankincense, and it can help your body get rid of this damaged DNA. And so I'm like, okay, frankincense sounds like the thing for me, and it can cross through the blood-brain barrier and that sort of thing. So I started using frankincense. To make a long story short, my headaches went away, and there was a noticeable difference in my health, and I felt way better. And I've been able to manage my issue for the last 8 years. It hasn't gone away, but I've been able to have 3 children, and I've been able to do that without having to go on the medication long term or without surgery. And I feel great. I don't have the crazy side effects, and I'm able to be the mom that I want to be. So that's my introduction to essential oils. And I didn't start out wanting to do it as a business. I couldn't not tell people about the great blessing that had come into my life. And I was able to utilize the oils on my 5-month-old baby who had been on 3 antibiotics in the first 5 months of his life. And I was terrified about what the rest of his life was going to be like if he was so sick when he was so little. And so I really, in fact, looking at this page, if we come here to it's actually like this. So we have the trifold, right? You just come into this front page and it's these kits right here. I looked at these kits and I said, I've got enough health issues. My little boy is so sick. I wanted to have everything I could to help him feel better and help me feel better. And so I actually started out with the largest kit at the time. This is actually a fairly small one now, but I started off with the Natural Solutions kit, an equivalent to that kit, because I really wanted every solution that I could to help my little boy feel better. So with that being said, when I first started with essential oils, we're going to come back here to this first section. When I first started out with essential oils, I had no clue what they were, but they are amazing. They come from plants, they come from stems of trees, they come from the bark, the roots. They're plants. And I love that because plants, we have a very cool relationship with plants. Humans do. We breathe in the air that they put out and vice versa. And so I love that we can also use them as our medicine. They have a wide range of emotional and physical wellness applications. And then if they're distilled properly and sourced properly, they can be extremely powerful and safe. So we're going to go to the second part, why doTERRA essential oils. So doTERRA is certified pure therapeutic grade. So it's saying that they're very potent and that they're very powerful and they're very concentrate. And doTERRA is really amazing. Over the past, when I started using doTERRA essential oils, they were doing about 4 tests on their oils. They're now up to 11. Whenever anything starts to get popular, there tends to be a lot more fakes, right? So if anybody's gone to New York City and bought like a Rolex watch, right? Mm-hmm. Like they look perfect, but they're not quite the same. And essential oils are a lot the same way. They can, their labels may say 100% pure, 100% natural, but on the inside, it could still be 100% pure and natural, but it might only be 10 drops of frankincense, and the rest might be a filler of some sort, like coconut oil or olive oil or something like that. But and the label's not lying, but what's on the inside might be different. And so it's very important to buy from a source that you can really trust. Eat that really quick. Oh, no, questions. Okay. So when I first brought up oils to my husband, I told him, this frankincense sounds pretty cool. And he said, what do you think was the first question he asked me? How much is it? Yes. He could tell that I was trying to sell him on how cool frankincense was. And he's like, that's a guy question. How much does it cost? And so I told him, I said, the bottle of frankincense that I'm looking at is $70. And he's like, well, what if you don't sign up and all this stuff? I'm like, well, then it'll be closer to 100. And he's like, nope, that is so expensive. He said, I can go. He's like, I don't know. He just left. He was like upset at me kind of for like pushing that I wanted this type of frankincense. And so he comes back with a health food store variety of frankincense, right? And he said, look, I bought this for $10. It's going to be awesome. And so I had a little kit that my friend had let me use that had frankincense in it. And I'm like, all right, well, let's smell the difference and see. And so we opened up the 2 frankincenses, and the first time we tried it, we smelled the doTERRA one first, but we couldn't even smell the other frankincense because it was so weak in comparison. And so we like waited a few minutes, and then we smelled the other one, and we could barely smell it even without that. The smell difference was just amazing. And the more we learned about the different kinds of essential oils, the more that we knew this is the brand to go with. And it wasn't long before he realized that the $10 frankincense was a complete waste of money compared to the $70 frankincense. And anyway, so it's been amazing. I'm going to pass around frankincense because I talk about it. It's pretty much the oil that I talk about. So I'll talk about all of them, but this is my favorite oil that's helped me out so much. So with doTERRA, you know that you're getting oils that are free from chemicals. They are free from fillers and artificial ingredients, and they're free from harmful contaminants. And doTERRA works very hard to make sure that they source the most pure oils that there are. Okay, and then you know that for me, it was really important for me to have pure oils, like the best oils, because I use frankincense internally. I use, 2 or 3 drops, probably 4 or 5 times a day. And so I'm using a lot of this, and I'm using it internally, which is very doTERRA specific. If you look, there's this supplement label that says you can take them internally, and not all the oils have those on them. For example, Serenity does not have the supplement label on it. You cannot use it internally, but it's used more as for aromatic use, for calming and for sleep and that sort of thing. Very good. Yeah. I made a little blend for my baby last night to try to get her to calm down. Serenity. Okay, so we're going to go down to the co-impact sourcing. This is one of my absolute favorite things. In fact, Elizabeth and I just got back from doTERRA Leadership last week in California, and we learned that 85% of doTERRA's oils are from co-impact sourcing. So that doesn't mean a lot quite yet, but the frankincense, for example, is from Somaliland. And what do you guys know about Somalia? Like, what have you just heard maybe in the last few years? Do you remember anything?
It's probably had the civil unrest for a long time. Right? So it's hard to say the exact thing that you're having. It's been in a lot of.
Well, Somaliland's #1 way that they provide a living for their country is piracy.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
They're the ones that have been attacking all the ships.
Yes.
Stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
Piracy is #1. Goats are #2. Frankincense is #3. So doTERRA has gone into Somaliland, and their goal for Somaliland is to bump frankincense up to #1 and get rid of piracy altogether. And the way that they do that is they go in and they help. They are working hard to help just bring more frankincense to Somaliland. It's a perfect place to grow it, and they already have a really good established frankincense base there. But they also go in with co-impact sourcing, and Somaliland is such a poor country. It is such a poor country. And so they go in and they provide hospitals. They're building hospitals there. They're building schools. They're trying to help educate the people to a better way of life. And so, perfect. And so this is what they do. They go into different countries and they help bring the standard of living up in those countries and help bring the standard of essential oils up in those countries. And so frankincense is a really cool example of that. Another one of my favorite examples of co-impact sourcing is vetiver. Vetiver is a super cool oil. It's also one that I put in my little girl's oil blend last night, but it's very, very calming. But vetiver is from Haiti. So we all know what's happened in Haiti the last few years, right? They've had some really major scary things that have happened there, and it's wiped out a lot of things, and the people there are very, very poor, and our vetiver is sourced from there. And when doTERRA went into there, they were talking to the people, and they were looking at the quality of the vetiver. They're like, this is pretty high quality vetiver, but it needs to be in the ground for 9 more months. Vetiver is a root. And so the people in Haiti are like, well, that's great, but if by the time the vetiver is harvest, by the time it's mature, we'll be dead because we need to eat. So we have to sell this as often as we can so that we can survive. And so doTERRA goes in there and they say, you know what, we understand and we're going to pay you up front. We're going to pay you halfway through the maturity time and then once it's harvested as well. So they're giving them money all throughout the process so that they can actually allow that vetiver to be even higher quality. These people can have a better way of life. And then they've also put in a pipeline. The people in this village were walking 3 hours to a water source, which wasn't even potable, and they were bringing that back for their families. And doTERRA says, we're going to build you a pipeline from an actual good source so they can just turn on a tap. They're not wasting that time. They're able to spend more time growing more vetiver to help their families even more, and they're getting a very fair price for their vetiver instead of not a fair price.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just a little bit background. I love Compact Sourcing so much, and it really helps me understand the heart of doTERRA as a company, that they're doing their best to make an impact around the world, and especially from these wonderful countries where we source these essential oils. So with that being said, okay, so we're going to go into the make and take part of the class. So as you can see, the oils that we're going to be using for the make and take class, they're on these little cards. So as you guys are making whatever blends you're making, I want you to really pay attention to these cards and see exactly what it is that you're putting into the blends. Deep Blue, for example, is really great for sore muscles, joint support, healthy circulation, and growing pains. It's not one that I use a ton, but I do use it on my kids for their legs. Like I'll put it on their legs whenever they have the aching legs. And I guess I'm getting older. A week or so ago, I was like racing my kids for a block or something. And of course they totally killed me. Like they beat me big time. But I get done and like my hip was hurting so bad. And Deep Blue and Copaiba were the 2 oils that I put on my hip. And if I don't put it on my hip, it's like, even now, a week later, I'm in pain quite a bit. But if I massage it on, then I feel great. So Deep Blue is so good for pain. And then all these other oils, they have just as many, if not more, things that they're good at doing. So
Did you say the price? Talk about they're each $5, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
each of the roller bottles are $5. They're $5 a piece. And
You can make as many as you want.
you can make as many as you want. Yeah. And then, all right, come back to the little. So we're looking at these kits. So all of the roller bottles that we're making are going to be from these. Well, they're in all of these kits, but they're primarily the oils that are in the Aroma Touch kit and this Home Essentials kit. And so we're just gonna, as you look at the little papers, you'll be able to see the oils that are in these kits. And then just as far as really before we start doing this, I want to explain to you how to purchase the oils. So you get your own wholesale account is the best way to purchase the oils. And the wholesale account is kind of like a Costco membership where you pay a $35 membership and then you get 25% off everything that you purchase. If you happen to get one of the kits, then you get that membership for free. And then something that's really cool just about this month is if you get any of these kits or you purchase at least 100 PB and oils, then you will get 50 PB and free oils. And PB is pretty much dollar for dollar with oils. 1 PB equals $1 in oils. And so that's really cool because it's going to more than cover your membership. It's going to basically reimburse you for your membership. And then if you get one of these kits that already includes the membership, you're just getting $50 in free oils for the most part. So
It's an awesome deal this month.
it is a really awesome deal. So I highly recommend it. And then when you decide, so this membership lasts a year, and then when you decide you want to renew your membership, it's going to be $25 a year from now, but then you get a free peppermint with it. And peppermint is such a cool oil. It's an oil that I use for pretty much everything. It's good for energy, it's good for your digestive health, it's good for any kind of headaches and aches and pains, and it's very good for respiratory issues. And in Texas in the summer, this is a must-have because you put like 20 drops in a little squirt bottle in water, and you just shake it up and you spray your kids down, and it cools them down all summer long. So when they complain about being hot, you just spray them down with that little squirt bottle of peppermint.
And during sports and stuff.
Sports.
Keeps the temperature
Yep.
down.
You can put a drop in their water, and it will help them. It helps oxygenate your body. And so, yeah, I just hold on to them like, I will. And so it's really an amazing oil. So that's peppermint. And then once you do get your account, you can order one of two ways. You can just order whenever you want, or you can order on loyalty rewards orders, which is just you can go in and you have an order month to month where you get free product back for the oils that you purchase. And it's just a great way to get free oils. And those who are loyal to doTERRA will be loyal to them in the form of free oils. And so I love that I have a hard time keeping a monthly order under $200 because I use that many oils, and I love their supplements. Their supplements are amazing.
I just cashed in 200 points, and that was $200 of oil. So, because you save them, and anyway, it's really a good program.
Yeah,
For
in the
those who
beginning,
use them a lot.
when I was spending $200 in oils or $200 in oils, I was getting about $20 back in free oils every month. And that was because I started off, like when you order monthly, when you start off, it's like you get 10% back in the beginning. And then after ordering for a year, you're getting up to 30% back. So whenever I order $200 of oils, I'm getting $60 in free oils. Plus, doTERRA also gives you your shipping back in free oils. So if I need oils the next day and it's going to cost me $30 for next day shipping, they give me $30 in free oils. If I'm like, I'm good for a week, and it takes them a week to send it, and I do the sure post with like $5, and they give me $5 in free oils back. So we've got some really great, like they just shower you with free oils all the time, and I love that. So, okay. We already talked about the kits we're going to be using. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the blends that we have to make today. So I have these little recipes that you guys can look at for the class. So here's the one. So for you guys, I'm doing the essential make and take class, and so the recipes are right down there at the bottom, and I just have these little laminated sheets that I can hand out for the class, and then I get them back after the class. So the first roller that we're going to be making today is called the Bomb. So the Bomb is my 6-year-old's favorite. I don't think she has any clue what's in it, but she just likes saying, Mom, I want to use the Bomb. I'm like, okay, we'll get you the Bomb. So the Bomb is really, really cool. It's got On Guard, Melaleuca, lemon, oregano, and frankincense. And all of these oils are amazing for boosting your immune system. So we apply this roller bottle on the bottoms of our feet every day just to help boost our immune system a little bit. If we're feeling under the weather, we're not feeling so hot, we're putting it on the bottom of our feet and on our spine about every 2 hours to help us get better. So the key to using essential oils is not necessarily using a whole bunch all at once. It's using a little bit often. So if you're feeling sick, that's when you start cranking it up to every couple of hours you're using your oils. Okay, so then the next one is called Digestive Health. And so this one is just as it says, it's amazing for anything. It's amazing for anything digestive. So we're going to be using the Digestin and the Wild Orange to make this one. And both of those oils are really good for your gut health. I use both of those often when I'm pregnant. I'll rub the Wild Orange around my ears, or I'll take a drop internally to help with heartburn and acid reflux, because I get that a lot when I'm pregnant. And so the Digestin Wild Orange, anything digestive, if you're feeling kind of weird, your stomach's not feeling good, any of those types of things, Digestive Health is amazing for. And then the next one is the Sleep and Calming. So that's the middle one, is the Sleep and Calming. And this one, the Balance and Serenity are two of the most calming and grounding oils that there are. I love using them in the airport when I'm getting ready to fly. I like using them just in situations where I know that I'm going to have anxiety, feelings of anxiety, because that kind of happens to me sometimes. But those two oils together, there's something about it that just helps me so that I can breathe, and it opens up my chest, and I feel grounded, and I feel like I can do anything. The Balance is it's my favorite blend. I like putting it on my kids. I homeschool, and so it helps instill confidence. If you're ever not feeling sure of yourself, then Balance is a go-to. And so between that confidence boost and the serenity, it just helps so much. It's an amazing blend. Then the next one is the Seasonal Zen. And this one is really good for seasonal threats, which happens to be really high right now, right? Did you guys go out to your cars and open them and see the greenish yellow film all over your cars, right? The pollen.
Mhm.
So the Seasonal Zen is really great. It's lemon, lavender, and peppermint. This blend is so powerful for allergies that doTERRA actually has a soft gel capsule that has those 3 oils in it that's specific for seasonal threats. So whenever you start feeling those crazy itchy eyes and the nose and the sneezing, that's when you go to the Seasonal Zen. This one, I like to put it across the bridge of my nose. You can put it on your feet. You can put it on the back of your neck and just all over your sinuses. Or you can do the Chinese soft gels. And then the last one is called Happy Head. And this one has frankincense, peppermint, and lavender. So this one is really good for whenever your head is aching or, your neck is tight. But I also love using this blend for sunburns. I was like, oh man, I have a spray bottle with those oils in it for sunburns, and I couldn't find it the other day. And my kids are like, Mom, my 8-year-old is like, Mom, those same oils are in Happy Head. And I'm like, hello, of course they are. So I go find my Happy Head roller, and we roll it on our shoulders and on our noses, and everybody's happy. It helps cool, it helps with the pain, and it helps. Lavender and frankincense are so amazing for the skin. I can't even tell you how good they are for the skin, and also just good for inflammation and pain. So
I can share a quick story about that.
Please do.
So I was working on my tiller so I could do some yard work, and I had got it started, and it was running for about 10 minutes, and then it was still having a problem, so I turned it off and went to work on it, and I stuck my hand in and then touched my arm on the exhaust. You can see that
It was huge.
this was a full-on blister on my arm, and you can hardly see anything there. I came in, put lavender and frankincense on it. A little while later, put it on probably about 4 times that day, and then the next day. And then my helioprism came. I put helioprism on this 3 times. This is almost gone. This was blistered. This was the skin coming off my arm. And you can't almost even see that this was a giant crescent on my arm.
oh my
And
gosh,
it's almost gone.
how long ago was that?
About 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, show these guys on the computer.
I don't know if you can see my arm.
See.
It was right here. I don't know if you can see the shadow of it.
You can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. Maybe the light, it's like right here.
Yeah.
But you can see it, that there was something there. But I can show you pictures of it. Was huge, gross and huge and blistery, and it's almost gone to where there's not even going to be a mark there probably in another couple of days.
Thank
And
you.
that was lavender, frankincense when it happened.
Uh-huh.
And then later I put heliocrism on it, just to probably about 3 or 4 times, and that's all that I've done.
That Happy Head would have been perfect
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the peppermint would have just cooled it
Exactly.
and taken some of the pain away. So
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. Okay, so now we're just gonna get started with the make and take. I'm gonna show you really quick how to make one. Which one do you guys think I should make? Just show you guys. Should we do the peace and calming or the sleep and calming? Okay, so I'm gonna do the sleep and calming. I'm gonna show you guys how to make this thing, everybody. Okay. So I'm gonna take the Balance, and you tip the oils. You might think it's kind of funny that I'm showing you how to do this, but you'll see why here in a second when it comes to putting everything else in. So you just kind of you put the oils in, kind of tip it at a 45-degree angle.
I love that it's blue.
I do too. It's such a pretty call.
You can see. It's not balanced.
Okay, so I put 10 drops of balance in.
All those recipes.
I'm gonna pass balance around so these kids can smell it.
Show
And
me
then-
recipe.
I opened that at
So no problem.
dance
Okay.
class one day.
Yeah, so it's the Sleep and Calming. It's the middle one. It's 10 drops of balance and 10 drops of serenity. And then I'll show you, now I'll angle it for the, you just kind of 45-degree angle.
She wants it to smell.
Okay, and then I take this is a fractionated coconut. It's a huge one, right? Because these bacon takes take a lot. And so I some people try to tip this thing, but no, you got to tip this thing. And then you just kind of move the bottle with the pump. You guys see that? And it takes about 3 pumps and then it's full. And then to put this cap on, this is really tricky. If you guys can't do it for some reason, let me know and I'll help you. I also have a little thing that helps. But you put it in and you kind of rock. You rock this once and then you rock it twice and it should be on. And then I have a whole bunch of lids right here in this thing. And then you just put the lid on and then you've got your peace and calming oil.
Awesome.
So, all right. You guys can, if we need to, we can take the chairs and move them back. That might be helpful so everybody can kind of move around. Okay, so now I'm going to have you guys grab these sheets right here. And go ahead and all you need to do is fill out the purple part. This is for a kid. So you fill out the purple part except for the social security number. That's only if you want to do what I do or what Elizabeth and Debbie do, which is teach others about essential oils. So, but other than that, you just fill just the purple stuff out and then we can go around and help you figure out which kit's going to work best for you. These guys are going to be fully equipped to do this type of a workshop.
Mhm.
And so if you guys want to do a workshop at your home, there's different hostess gifts or, that are available if you want to do a workshop for your friends and family. It's really fun, it's really interactive, and it's an easy way to introduce people to essential oils. And I know for me, like when I wasn't doing this as a business, I was sharing like crazy. It was so much easier just to have somebody to come and do this type of thing for all the people that I was talking to oils about instead of just like one by one, like, hey, this is really cool. I just sat them down and be like, all right, you guys, if you want to hear about all the wonderful stuff that I've been using oils for, if you want to know, because a lot of people are like, your little boy is so much better. I didn't tell that part. My little boy, within a couple of weeks using the oils regularly, he was so much better. You guys, we're looking getting ear tubes for him, and he is 8 now, and he has not had an antibiotic since he was 5 months old. And I'm very proud of that. And then I have a 6-year-old girl and a 2-year-old girl, and neither one of them has been to the doctor for any kind of an illness. And it's all because of essential oils. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. One of the reasons because of my kiddos, and I think every single mother in the whole entire world needs to have oils. And so if we've been doing this, if you've been thinking, oh my gosh, so-and-so really needs, they're sick all the time, they really need the balm or whatever, then I know that these guys would be happy to help you do a workshop at your house and get some free oils or whatever to help just to say thank you for doing a workshop.